You know, I don't know why people hate on anime so much. I mean, once you get into it, it's actually very good. What's happening with my hand? What is happening? No, 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 no. I just wanted to be enlightened. Gooner anime. It's a term that scares away the general population due to the continuous spread of Goonerism, but what qualifies as a Gooner anime? For example, One Piece is a popular anime and Nami is a popular character, so if I enjoy a popular character from a popular anime, that doesn't make me a Gooner, right? But the term Gooner anime has gotten out of hand. Critics will say that something is a Gooner anime and has no substance, which is just not true. And so I'm here to defend the honor of all these animes because I will not stand for the continuous slander of all these amazing anime. That sounded so cool.
COVID-19 will go down as one of the scariest spreads of a disease. Only behind Goonerism, of course. Businesses shutting down, and worst of all, people were watching anime.
What? I'm a semi-normal human being?
I can't say it's all that surprising that there's a stigma against watching anime, but I feel like a lot of it comes down to the fact that anime and manga are targeted towards a certain demographic.
A quick lesson on demographics. Demographics such as shonen and shoujo are the group in which anime and manga target. For example, Apothecary Diaries is classified as a seinen, which means that it's for old people. Shonen, on the other hand, which is targeted towards young boys, focuses on grand adventures and overcoming unforeseeable dangers, as well as never underestimating the power of boobs?
Now let's be really honest here. Teens, especially boys, are, dare I say it, horny. And because of this, the media that they consume is targeted towards them, meaning that certain sexual aspects are overfixated on. And it feels weird that I'm calling out my second favorite anime of all time, but I'd also rather look correct than a hypocrite. Although this second skit in the OVA is kind of funny, I won't lie. Like yeah, sometimes I'm trying to watch a show and then scenes like this will show up and make it uncomfortable to watch. Although I do feel that because of all this hate, a lot of anime get blown out of proportion and it causes people to break the golden rule of not judging a book by its cover. And I want to give some clarity to both sides, but this is also not a video about Mushoku Tensei, so this is going to be the last time you see it. Dress Up Darling is an anime that came out all the way back in 2021 and has since then garnered a reputation of being a Gooner anime. But I feel like in a lot of ways, the scenes that are deemed as Gooner actually help play into the vibe of the show and even help with Marin's character, meaning that they're not useless. Let's go to episode 2 of Dress Up Darling, the most infamous one and what got its reputation to the way it is now. Now episode 2 has Marin go to the superior Gojo's house to get measurements, and this entire interaction is uncomfortable with its close-up shots. But that's kind of the point. Gojo is a teen boy with a girl in his room coming to take measurements. Now the reason this scene works is because it's not meant to sexualize Marin, even though the shots make you think otherwise. It's to show confliction between Gojo and the feelings that he has right now because a random girl is in his room in a bikini. This also sets the foundation for both their characters. Marin is a character that is outgoing all the time and doesn't even realize that the things she could do may come off as weird, but on the other hand, Gojo is also a very shy person and wants to help in any way he can. Now I'll admit, not all scenes in Dress Up Darling are perfect, but a lot of them have intent behind them which push the overall theme forward. On the flip side, we have an anime called 2.5D Seduction, which is another cosplay anime, and in this scene, two girls are cosplaying as characters from a fictional world where in order to gain energy, they have to suck the energy out of the girl's boobs, which leads to this scene that you're about to see right now. Now does this push the overall theme forward? Not really, so it's just uncomfortable for no reason. Although, don't let this push you away from this anime, because other than this scene, there were actually a lot of good scenes, if you ignore that. Now yes, Dress Up Darling can fall victim to Gooner bait sometimes, but a lot of those scenes could even be debated. For example, this scene is going to talk about how Marin is having a cosplay malfunction, which is not the most unrealistic scenario out there. Failure is par for the course, and it's these failures that bring Marin and Gojo closer together and allows them to make progress into achieving their goals. And the goal is to shine. As a cosplayer, Marin wants to shine as brightly as she can being herself. Because of this, Gojo has come to admire Marin a lot and uses his cosplays to help her because it's a way of expression for him. And those are very genuine feelings that are missed when you look at Dress Up Darling from a surface level. Now, if the driving force for Dress Up Darling was fan service, I don't think it would have such a high female audience. Although, last time I checked, not exactly a girl. I would like to introduce you to Mimi Yori, a YouTuber who made an in-depth analysis about Marin Kitagawa. Mimi Yori makes very well-crafted, in-depth analysis on different animes, Dress Up Darling being one of them, and most importantly, she's also a woman. Either way, defending Dress Up Darling was kind of a slippery slope, so if I had to defend another Gooner anime, that would really suck.
Dun dun dun!
Oh, so that's how it got its name. Now yes, Dress Up Darling does get crap for its fan service, but that is nowhere near comparable to Dandadan. It pushes away so many potential viewers because they get so scared at the fact that Momo is half naked, and they use this as a way to say that Dandadan sexualizes children, which is There's also a scene at the end of the first season which shows Momo getting sexually assaulted by old people. It almost goes to show that no matter the species, there are monsters that target people, and it almost brings awareness to this issue as a whole. This scene is uncomfortable, and that is the point. It is not supposed to be enjoyed. That is why the show never goes out of its way to do weird camera shots to sexualize Momo. It is to show that the monsters doing this to her are unforgivable and want control over the situation, which is how situations like this happen in the first place. I understand one thing, to be uncomfortable, but to try and say that Dandadan goes out of its way to sexualize minors is just untrue. And in some ways, trying to completely ignore this problem as a whole is only going to lead to more ignorance. These are real life problems that should be addressed in some way, shape, or form. One scene I do kind of have an issue with is Grandma Seiko asking to see Okurun's balls, because it's kind of weird. But even then, later on, Okurun still feels comfortable with her. In fact, he even goes out of his way to help rebuild her house. The point I'm trying to make is, yes, sometimes these scenes are uncomfortable, but at the same time, it's not like they're actually sexualizing the characters here. If they were, then they would be making way more uncomfortable camera shots in this scene alone. As for scenes in other anime like this, you may be wondering how I'm going to try and defend them. The answer is, I won't. One thing I want to clarify is that I understand the complaint with fan service, because sometimes a lot of anime don't do it right. But other times, it's important to realize that things like this are completely normal. Take Frieren for example. It is a completely serious anime, but it still went out of its way to make a boob joke. Because at the end of the day, it is a completely normal thing. But also, it helped shed some light on interesting mindsets because people do really think like this sometimes. And for Chainsaw Man, another controversial anime with the way that it uses its fan service, it's completely understandable to be uncomfortable. But if you don't like a show that much, then why not just drop it? Why is it so many people feel the need to paint a shallow picture of a show, when in reality, sometimes it could also be an author trying to paint an interesting idea of the human mind, but that all gets ignored because people only pay attention to scenes like this and look at them at a surface level. But hey, that's just my opinion. Unless it's Alia hides her feelings in Russian, because that's pure Gooner shit.